the first feature race on day 2, the Ballymore Properties Novices Hurdle. Get Mark Winstanley's view on Diamond Harry. People are in two very different camps in this horse, great fans, and some people are completely opposed to him.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the horse, I must say. I thought he struggled to win last time, and I didn't like the way he was hanging like Albert Peter Point all the way up the Cheltenham straight. I'm not a fan of his. I've gone for a touch in this race with an horse called the Nightingale, and also Paul Nichols's, who's really come to itself in the last couple of weeks. Ruby Walsh was over from Ireland last Thursday to ride all the good horses at Ditchett down at Paul's, and this Nightingale took off with him. Again, it's a sort of one's come out the clouds. It's been very well backed in the last couple of days. Some of it my money, some of it not. I think it's a real chance, this horse. I think this is the race Cousin Vinny should be running in rather than the 2-miler. Because it gives the jockey more chance of organising. If he makes a mistake, he's got a chance. But I don't think it'll run. I don't think Mikel Dagenais will run. I think Willie's desperate not to run that at the festival. And I think the Grand Drying Out, that won't be running. There's others, Cape Tribulation. You look at the race, I think he's the more likely to run in the 3-miler, the Albert Bartlett. And I just think the Nightingale's a price. Carabac, very interesting.
He's a tough horse, isn't he?
Who's that?
Carabac.
Yeah, JP McManus has bought him. I had a bet on Chocolate Thornton to be top jockey. An hour later, he fucking sold the horse and AP's on it. How bad's my luck? Carabac, I think it'll be hard to boot out the frame. Again, AP, said to JP, obviously, go and buy this horse and he paid a lot of money for it. The Nightingale, I think he's a 14-1 shot. I think he's shorting again, and he might be on an earner by the time the race is run.
Matt, your view? What about Mad Max, the big giant horse of Nicky Henderson's?
He's absolutely huge, isn't he? As everyone said, Mad Max. Difficult to tell. I mean, he's knocked a few hurdles out of the ground. It doesn't even look as though he jumps them. It's just, he is that big. But, I don't know. French Holly, of course, was a very good winner at Cheltenham, and he was huge as well. But generally speaking, I think it doesn't actually work for these youngish hurdlers to be that size. So I'll take on Mad Max. I mean, Diamond Harry, he's very, very talented. Is he too quirky? Time will tell. But he's clearly got the ability to win. I was hoping that Cape Tribulation would run in this race. As Couch has said, I think it probably will go up for the 3-miler, which is a shortish price. But certainly if I own this horse, I'll be running it here over 2.5. I like the look of Cape Tribulation here. So I'll be keeping my powder dry till the day and hoping that the Cape turns up in this. Good flat horse. Already a good hurdler. Malcolm Jefferson, of course, had the great Dato Star, who would have probably won a champion hurdle if it had been on a flat track. And Cape Tribulation, I think, has got a lot of ability. So I'm hoping it runs here. Of the others, I haven't got a strong opinion. Obviously, if the Vinny turns up, he'll win. But other than that, I'm hoping Cape Tribulation runs. Could sort of break up this race, I think. I think if Mikel doesn't run, Tribulation doesn't run, Vinny doesn't run, then if you fancy either Diamond Harry or Carabac, then probably now's the time to get on one of those two, because the prices are going to surely come down for some of the others. Ben Salem possibly shouldn't be the price. It is at the moment at 16s, considering it did give Diamond Harry a race last time that one was seen.
He's also in the Albert Bartlett, isn't he?
Yeah. We've got to see who runs. I mean, if all those horses don't run here, Mikel Dagenais doesn't run, Vinny doesn't run, Ben Salem doesn't run, and Cape Tribulation doesn't run, then Diamond Harry's going to, into 5-2, isn't it? From 4 on the night.
Each way, a ninth the odds. Kieran, your view of Diamond Harry, Matt was saying, was a bit quirky. What was your view of his win at Cheltenham? He didn't win by that far. He wasn't that impressive. But before that, he was very impressive at Newbury.
Yeah, before that, absolutely. I thought he was potentially one of the most exciting horses we've all seen in years. He was one of those rare horses where the wizened old sages that have worked at Time Form in Halifax for a long time are actually getting quite excited. But I think our reaction, much like everyone else's at Cheltenham, was the sort of plumbers not too convinced about that. His tail carriage, his head carriage, the way he was hanging. Nick Williams keeps saying the horse wants to go left-handed. He was tugging, although he went to the left, he was actually tugging right. Timmy Murphy took him left. Big concerns about, hopefully, I think that might have made a man of him. I think Ben Slem is a very, very good horse. He'd be my tip for the Albert Bartlett. I think he's very progressive. So the distance that pair put between themselves and their rivals that day suggested to me that Diamond Harry was potentially top class. I backed him around 8 prior to that run. I have to say, straight after that run, having watched the video again, I've laid off around 7-2. I'm just not totally convinced. I think that he's the one horse that could potentially smash the field up, but I just wonder whether he might just come off the bridle early and not really take to the whole Cheltenham experience.
Andrew?
Well, I'm a Diamond Harry fan, but I'm biased because I've got shares in a few horses with Nick Williams, and I was on this one at 25 to 1 in October. I think the problem last time was that he'd been returned to the track fairly quickly and he came up light in the paddock. His runs have always been spaced out by at least 5 or 6 weeks. I mean, his first 2 runs, there was 12 months apart when he won those 2 bumpers at Newbury. And if you looked him in the paddock, I think John Frankham described him as a greyhound, which I don't want to be too unkind because one of his owners is actually in the audience here, so give us a wave, Graham. But, and I think now he's had 7 weeks off since that run, we'll see a different Diamond Harry. He did look to hang left that time, but Timmy Murphy is adamant that he took him there deliberately because he'd walked the course and he thought the ground on the far side was better. And if you watch the final, just a few yards of that race, you see, as he crossed the line, he was doing it quite comfortably. And as Kieran said, it's probably made a man of him. So now he's had 7 weeks off to put a bit of condition on. In a bigger field, off a stronger pace, we'll see the real deal. And I think he can maintain his unbeaten record.